Well, yes, it's Thursday, the 26th of October, 2023. My apologies for coming a little bit late. I was supposed to be here a little bit earlier. But be that as it may, let's come to important news, breaking news. The News Hawks Live online newspaper, it's a leading online newspaper, is carrying a very important piece of news, as we have all been saying and anticipating that the Sadc is still seized with the issue of the Zimbabwean elections. Sadc, currently chaired by João Lourenço, the president of Angola, is set to convene an extraordinary meeting of the Southern African Development Community. And they are meeting particularly to discuss the political and security situation in the region. They were initially supposed to meet yesterday, the 25th of October. But this meeting, according to the newsworks, was postponed to tomorrow, Friday, the 27th of October, 2026. The reason for this postponement was because the 25th of October was set by Sadc itself as an anti-sanctions day, where they basically are encouraging and lobbying the United States, the European Union, and those in the Western world who have imposed the sanctions on Zimbabwe. So because of that, because they thought this extraordinary meeting will overshadow that event, then it was necessary for this meeting to be scheduled. But the bottom line is, it's happening. This is against spirited denials, rabble-rousing by ZANU-PF operatives, ZANU-PF apparatchiks such as Christopher Mutsvangwa, such as George Charamba, such as Nick Mangwana, who all blatantly denied that this was going to happen. In fact, according to Charamba, this was only going to happen next year when Zimbabwe was in line to take over the chairmanship of Sadc. But to show you that there is a lot that has been going behind the scenes, this meeting is going ahead, right? Before I even move on, because this is just a short brief, I would like to share with you, the viewers, the agenda that was supposed to have been of course, to have been executed yesterday, but which will now be moved to Friday. The agenda of the Sadc meeting, and I'll go through the agenda with you so that we know which are the most important issues that they are going to discuss when they meet tomorrow. So this agenda was set to be discussed for the 25th. It's a virtual extraordinary Sadc meeting, or Sadc summit rather. In the draft, it was to start with delegates connecting to the meeting platform. Then from 10 o'clock to 10:10, it would follow with the heads of state and government connecting to the meeting platform as well. Right. Once they were connected, the following item was to play the national anthems of Angola, because Angola is the chair of Sadc, then the national anthem of the Sadc and the African Union. Then the next item we're going to be welcoming remarks by His Excellency, Mr. Elias M. Mahosi, the Sadc Executive Secretary. Then the next item would be the opening remarks by His Excellency João Manuel Goncalves Lourenço, President of the Republic of Angola and Chairperson of Sadc of Sadc. Then from then on, the extraordinary Sadc would be in session Then after that, the reading of the communique by Mr. Mahosi, His Excellency M. Mahosi, the SADC Executive Secretary, with closing session, remarks from, again, the President of Angola, right? But so this is basically the way events were going to go. But the most important item right there, the most important item on discussion, the key issues on the agenda are the Democratic Republic of Congo. And as we know that there are always issues there, because of a war that is ravaging that country. Then Zimbabwe, and of course Zimbabwe, the elections are an issue, the 23rd of August elections. Remember, President Hakainde Hichilema has now submitted the final report to President Mnangagwa and to Zimbabwe, and that report, far from what others are saying, it still maintains that the Zimbabwe elections did not or fell short of meeting the standards. In fact, they are saying that these elections, did not meet the constitutional requirements of the Zimbabwean constitution. They did not meet the requirements of the electoral law of Zimbabwe, and they also did not meet the SADC guidelines guiding democratic elections in this region, right? So also on the agenda, of course, they are going to discuss Eswatini polls, which were recently held, right? Now, according to the news hawks, this meeting, like I said, will happen tomorrow as scheduled previously. So it will be starting in the morning around 9, which means by afternoon we should be having the communique of the SADC. So all hope is not lost, and we understand that the CCC has been lobbying SADC as well. They've made their presentations on the issue in Zimbabwe, and of course ZANU-PF must have done the same. Let's continue to remind each other that the SADC election observer mission to Zimbabwe, which was headed by the Zambian Deputy President Nevas Mumba, said while the elections were relatively peaceful, they did not meet the benchmarks of the country's constitution, its electoral law, and the SADC guidelines. That is very important. It is very important to know that that is captured in the final report, right? But also it was not SADC, by the way. Other observer missions rejected this election, and they said the elections were not free, the elections were not fair, they were not transparent, and they were not credible, right? Now, so this is the breaking news that we have. So we'll follow this unfolding piece of news, and definitely we'll be here to break the news when it happens. So for now, let me say it's a very, very good afternoon to you all. Thank you very much.